unfortunately, I think a lot of Celtic fans have got PTSD from some of these playoffs, and I think even the ones that have been successful, I think have left fans kind of haunted. And I think back to going to Beersheva and Astana. Those two are, oh my word. I think Brendan Rodgers after it said he's going to a tumble dryer. So Martin O'Neill should be prepared for another head spinning night tomorrow night. Listen, let's get into it. I mean, first of all, couldn't have been much better, could it? Really? I mean, it was a strange game, wasn't it? Though, was there enough in that game to suggest that Celtic should be confident, or did you see a lot in there that perhaps worries you as well at the teams going into this game tomorrow night?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's 2 early warning shots. LASK scored twice, didn't they?
Aye.
Celtic let out of jail by the offside flagging up. So I think clearly they pose a threat. That was them playing away from home. At home, when they've got 20,000 fans behind them, they've got nothing to lose. They've never actually qualified for the Champions League before either, so the pressure's off. I think they'll just be going for it, especially in the opening, 10 to 20 minutes. So I think Celtic will just have to weather the storm over here.
Do you rate them as a team? What did you make of them?
I thought
they were actually quite decent. I thought they looked all right. I thought they looked quite good.
In midfield as well, I thought they were pretty decent as well. There's a couple of really decent playmakers in there. It sliced open Celtic quite a few times as well. Obviously, they've got 2 absolute specimens up front. So, look, I don't think this is... You'd like to think that Celtic are pretty much there, and of course they've got 1 foot in the Champions League, but I think for me it's all dependent on how disciplined they are in the first 10 to 20 minutes.
Because cliche, isn't it? The first 20 minutes.
But seriously, because if they concede early, then the support will be right behind LASK. We've seen in the past how many times that Celtic have struggled away from home as well. So I think if Celtic can get the first goal, I think that would be absolutely crucial. I think that would just flatten the home mood and the home fans, probably the LASK as well. And that might just be enough just to settle the nerves and pretty much secure the placement into the next round. But it's going to be still a really tough task for Celtic.
This team, I mean, watched a bit of them before last week. They do start pretty intense as well. They do come out the blocks quite quickly in most games. It happened at Parkhead. They came out the first 5 minutes, they were all over Celtic. I mean, you had the ball in the net. They're through and goal straight away after that as well. So the warning signs were there. I thought Celtic coped with it pretty well after that. Although weirdly, I mean, it was a strange kind of game. It's only won 3-0, but I don't know if you're a big XG man, but I think LASK came out on top in terms of expected goals. I'm not particularly sure how that works right enough. But and Celtic scored 3 worldies. So it was a kind of strange game.
I think the difference, obviously,
the threat is there. I think they're a threat, this team.
Yeah, I think you'd be able to bank on Celtic scoring over there with Benjamin Negron on fire, Camilo Duran, and obviously Casper Hu up front as well. So I think you're going to bank on Celtic scoring. So if they can get a goal, that would require LASK to score 4 to equal.
That's the thing. Did Celtic go out and play and look for the goal first, or did they go and play cautious? How did they approach it? That's the big question, because it's a tricky one, isn't it?
What can give Celtic confidence is the performances in Europe away from home under Martin O'Neill last season.
Aye.
You look at Stuttgart 1-0.
Yeah.
Albeit Stuttgart pretty much killed the tie in the home leg.
Yeah.
The Celtic part, it was 4-1. But then you've got Feyenoord 3-1 away from home.
Yeah.
We watched even under Brendan Rodgers in Belgrade. Bologna.
10 men.
So Celtic's record away from home last season actually wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
It showed some maturity compared to previous years where it's been pretty much a write-off.
Yeah.
So that should give Celtic confidence. It shows that they've got to know how to do that. As I say, they've got Champions League proven signings in, like Casper Hu, who's delivered at this stage before. Camilo Duran, who's performed at this stage before. So, as I say, I think it's just about... I really do think the opening periods are going to be crucial because Celtic concede twice like they did in last week, but that offside flag doesn't go up, and it'll be a really jittery night. But
it's that tumble dryer again. It's I actually don't think Celtic might not have much say in how the game state plays out, because I think they will come out and attack Celtic, and if they can hold firm, I think you're right. I think Celtic have got a chance to hit in the break. You saw it. I actually saw it at Tannadice in the league game the other week when United had Celtic pinned back for a long period of the second half, and Celtic just picked them off in the break. You look at the third goal the other night, came from the 6-yard box under pressure, their own 6-yard box, end up at the park and score a goal. So I think Celtic can take a bit of heart that the fact they've got pace to hit in the break, they've got quality. I mean, if they get the ball up to, they've got Casper Hu as well, or who was brilliant. I thought he was brilliant last week. I know people were saying he was quiet. I was
First
brilliant.
20 minutes, ball wasn't quite falling from, it was bouncing off him. But I think the key difference is Celtic got a focal point up front now. They've got a real presence.
Just being there. I think
Yeah.
the case. I mean, like
That
even,
third goal, that would never have happened.
but it's all
Besides
goals.
made up front.
All goal because I mean, Kieran Tierney for both goals. All he knows is he's got to get the ball in that box, and whether he's attacking the ball or not, he's occupying defenders, and they're having to scramble it clear. The ball breaks out of the box. So these midfield players can gamble on the edge of the box because they know he's in there causing havoc, either getting a chance or getting a break. And then the third goal that you say, I mean, that I must admit, at that point in time, he's got three options: pull it in, win a free kick, or knock it on. He knocked it on. I think Martin really wanted to pull it in and get a free kick at that point, but he did a great bit of skill and they're up the park and score a goal. So
I think
he's been brilliant at that.
I think that can be overlooked sometimes, just how good he is at the first one-touch passes, the first time. But he plays it into feet so well, and that just gets Celtic further up the park quicker.
I was a bit surprised, because I think everyone was saying he's a penalty box striker. That's it. He doesn't do his good outside the box. I think he's been really good outside the box. Yeah, I mean, I think that's maybe something that Martin will say, listen, forget that we only played that way at Bodo, but we need you to do this. And he's, by the way, he's excelled at it. And I think even without scoring, he didn't score last week, but without scoring, I thought he was a really important part of that cog in the machine, so it was good.
I spoke to Vidar Wiese before he joined, and he's a Norwegian TV pundit over there just now, and he's watched a lot of Kasper Høegh playing for Bodo, and he kind of said the opposite. He said, look, I asked him, where there's a penalty box striker, is that true? He said no. The amount of work that he does off the ball is incredible. He says that he's a leader on the pitch as well. I think he wore the captain's armband quite a few times for Bodo Glimt last year as well. So I think he's just a kind of all-rounder good player. He's got so many attributes that Celtic have been lacking for so many years. And as I say, I think he just totally galvanised the team. Benjamin Negan, the link-up play with him, I don't think it's any coincidence that Benjamin Negan's now playing the best football probably of his career, not only Celtic here, but his career. His numbers are off the scales. Because he's got a recognised striker like Kasper Høegh up front. And the combination play with, it's the early signs are extremely promising, but the combination between the two of them in particular is really exciting for Celtic going forward. And that's why I think Celtic will go through, because I think they've got that. I do think they'll concede. I think it could be a nervy night, but I think they've got a goal in them, at least one goal, and that'll be enough.
Did you see Big Kasper before the game kicked off? Watching this, it was always good to see. I think the lineups before the game and the atmosphere, you see it in some of the reactions, and often the way the team, you all can see how they're doing. Some of them lap it up, some of them look a bit nervous. But along the line, you looked at Kasper, he's a big cheesy grin in his face. He fancied it. He's like, this is why I'm here.
Even the team picture, Mike, did you see it? The four new boys that were, and I'm including Sinisalo in that because it was his debut. They were all chuffed, and then you've got the veterans like Kieran Tierney and Cam McGregor. They've got the game
steely face. I just thought it was funny because the big Kasper's got a big cheesy grin. I think this is the business. He just looked like, guys, this is why I'm here. This is what I signed up for. This is the brochure. I need to go in to get them the next step into the Champions League. So I thought he was terrific.
But listen, that's a massive thing as well, because you need to have personality to play for Celtic in Champions League. So well doing it domestically. You need to have a guy that's going to prosper and properly thrive in that environment. And like you say, before the game, you could tell how absolutely buzzing he was. So I think that's important, and I think that, as I said, that's why I mentioned the team picture as well. They're all, you could just tell they're properly up for it and really relishing the challenge. And I think that's what Celtic have really need. And I thought 3-0. Do you think it was a fair scoreline last week?
No. If I walked away from that game as a 3-2 or 4-2, I probably thought, that's maybe. I thought in the balance of play. But listen, how many times have Celtic been the end of that kind of result? When they walk away and get beat 2-0 in Europe and they go, I thought we were in the game. So it was about time Celtic dished out one rather than the end of it.